Good evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome to tonight's weather report and forecast. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Looking at some of the conditions that we had over much of the country. We had partly cloudy conditions over the central parts of the country, with moisture drifting in from the north, giving us cloudy conditions over Matabeleland north into Mashonaland provinces, and this became cloudy as the day progresses. The system that is coming in towards Victoria Falls is what we're expecting to give us a few isolated showers over those northwestern parts of the country, but for the rest of the country it's cooler overnight with a warmer Monday projected, but it gets cooler towards Tuesday and Wednesday because of a cooling southeasterly that we're expecting that period. But for tomorrow, most of our moisture is covered over the northern parts, with Tuesday and Wednesday expecting moisture over the southeastern parts, making it cloudy over Matabeleland south and Masvingo provinces with patchy drizzle. That's the green color that you see there. And as we get into Thursday, it slightly gets warmer, but for tonight we're expecting most of the mild conditions across board, with cooler conditions along the higher veld, where we're expecting Bulawayo to be at 14, 18 for Gweru and 14 for Harare as well. But by afternoon, we're still expecting warmer conditions with a few 30s over the southern parts of the country as well as the northern parts. Expecting it to be warmer on Monday, but cooler on Tuesday. So we still urge you to keep those sun hats on for Monday, but for Tuesday, it's more of the jerseys expected over the southern parts. For Bulawayo, expecting 31 on Monday, cools down to 26 on Tuesday. Same for Matopo, cooler over Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, whilst it gets warmer towards the weekend. For Gwanda, we're expecting those cool southeasterlies to also affect Gwanda area. We're expecting it to drop to about 25 degrees on Tuesday, maintaining those 20s for much of this week, only warming up into the weekend. Gweru also following suit, with Masvingo also projected to be warmer around the weekend. Their way through rises to about 29 for Saturday. And for areas such as Mutare, we're expecting cloudy conditions for much of this week, especially on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but it warms up also into the weekend. Nyanga expecting just a slight drop as we get to 16 on Wednesday, but for much of this week it's in the 20s. For Marondera, also expecting a slight dip over Wednesday, and it warms up into the week, whilst Harare just cools down to about 21 on Wednesday. For Kadoma, also cooling down slightly on Wednesday, but the rest of the week promises to be warmer with a bit of cloudiness here and there. Chinoi, a bit of showery weather here and there, but for Victoria Falls, it's cloudy on Monday and it warms up the rest of the week. For Lupane, we're expecting warmer conditions for much of this week. Same for Bindura, with a northeasterly airflow for tomorrow. Same for Kariba as well, with a maximum of 31 on Monday. That's it for our weather and forecast. It's been a pleasure, Zimbabwe. Enjoy the rest of your holidays.